If you ever wondered what it's like for anyone who's visually impaired to shop for clothes, well, two blind brothers, Bryan and Bradford Manning, are making it easy and fighting blindness at the same time. Tory caught up with them today earlier in today's DBL Spotlight.
Brad and Bryan Manning, welcome to DBL. Now, your clothing company, Two Blind Brothers, was inspired by your own blindness that was caused by this rare eye condition. So neither of you were born blind. When did you begin to go blind?
We basically were both diagnosed at the age of 7. So Brad is 5 years older than I am. So he started being symptomatic at about 5, and it took 2 years of hunting to figure out what had happened to his vision. And then when I started showing symptoms of Stargardt's disease, the disease we have, it was pretty easy for them to diagnose.
Without my glasses or contacts, I'm legally blind, so I know what that's like. I can't understand it because I get contacts, but I can empathize with you and your cause. You're now 30 and 35 years old now. Can you kind of take us through just what your vision is like?
Yeah, so our disease, basically, Stargardt's, all of the cells in the center of your vision die. It's actually very similar to macular degeneration, which a lot of people's grandparents have. Honestly, or a fact people don't often know is 11 million people in the U.S. suffer from a form of retinal eye disease. Wow. And for Brad and I, what that means is the cells in the center, so there's a big empty hole kind of in the middle of our eyesight, but we keep a lot of peripheral. Wow. So walking around, mobility, not tripping over too much stuff is okay, but any sort of reading print, detail work, recognizing faces is really challenging for us.
I want to get to your clothing line because I think this is so amazing. Brad, what are some unique features of your clothes that are mindful of the visually impaired?
Bryan and I started this clothing brand with 2 simple missions. 1, to make the softest clothing that we possibly could, and 2, to help cure blindness by donating all the funds back to preclinical retinal research. Wow. One huge thing that we quickly learned that we needed to include in there was the community. Oftentimes what we do is we'll put the color of the word in Braille on the hem of the shirt. So if you are blind or you are visually impaired and you're going through your closet, you know what color you're picking. And if you aren't blind or visually impaired, we think it's a lot cooler of a logo than anything else you could possibly.
I totally agree with you. One unique feature, Bryan, of your website is that shoppers can, quote, see what you see. Talk to me about how that works and how have your community responded to that.
Well, what we did on our website, we actually have a button to see like we see, which blurs out the center of the page, and it simulates that experience of trying to look around this hole in your vision, still being able to be functional, but this kind of overarching challenge that's consistent.
That is brilliant. Way to have empathy by actually seeing what you see. What is next for you guys? Are you thinking of masks? Are you thinking of other accessible clothing items? Where do you want to see the company go?
1, as Brad said, is curing blindness by donating those profits. 2 is expanding the collection. I want every time you think, I want to be comfortable, I want to feel soft, I want to feel great about myself, to just have my smiling face pop into your head, not Brad's, of course, that'd be a nightmare. The 3, and this is so important, is expanding and growing this visually impaired community.
I do think accessible clothing is going to be on trend for 2021. I see great things for you both. So for more on the foundation fighting blindness, head on over to fightingblindness.org. We have it on the screen for you. And definitely check out twoblindbrothers.com and shop for such a good cause and for 2 very cute gentlemen. Brad and Bryan, thank you so much for chatting today. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
2020 has been a challenging year, to say the least.
We want to thank you for spending your time with us.
From all of us here at DBL,
we want to wish you a happy holiday
and a healthy new year.